Hello everyone. I have some exciting news to share. I just recently got the chance to drive a Model 3, long-range Model 3. I was test driving it for about an hour. In this video I will tell you about my experience and my opinions about the car. They gave me a blue Model 3. I really wanted to see this color in person. I never saw it before, so it was very good. Yeah, let's start with the steering wheel. I like the size of the steering wheel. It's chunky and it's nice to hold. The materials are quite good. I also like the weight of the steering wheel. It's perfect actually. It's not too light, not too strong. Yeah, then you have this very spacious feeling in the front. That's really nice actually, and it's a very clean feeling. The materials in the interior are actually quite good quality. They're soft. The front panel is wood. Then you have this center console. I heard a lot of complaints about this, people talking about it's hard to close, but for me it was actually quite nice. You just gently push it. There is a lot of space in the center console. Under the armrest, it's a lot of space as well. The armrest doesn't slide forward, but it's in a good position so you can rest your arm while holding the steering wheel. I haven't had much chance to look into the infotainment system, but there are so many videos, so much information out there on YouTube, so it was not a big problem. So I already know most of the things with regards to that. Let's go to the back. The seats are quite nice, comfortable, although they are a bit low. I have good leg space. I'm 173 centimeters. I really like the glass roof. It makes it feel very open and spacious inside. So in general the back space is quite nice to sit. They did not cheap out on the materials in the back. That's also good. Now let's look at the boot. So I was quite pleasantly surprised by the amount of space. Sorry, excuse the fossil burner sound. So the boot has a lot of space actually, it's quite spacious, and then you have also an underfloor storage which also can hold some stuff. Excuse the shaky camera. I was in a rush, so I had to do everything quite fast and I was eager to drive the car. So let's have a look at the front boot, or frunk as they call it. The frunk space is actually quite useful, I think, because you can just store your charging cables and stuff, things that you don't really need to access that often. Now let's go to the driving part. I drove straight to a quiet residential area. I was a bit concerned about the size of the car. I thought it would be too big for me. In Munich you do a fair bit of driving in these narrow streets with 30 kilometers of speed limits. So I wanted to try the car in those situations. As you can see, it's quite nice, green and quiet neighborhood. Here I felt like I needed to adjust the steering wheel and the mirrors, so I stopped for a bit and did that. So you have to do everything from the infotainment system, so that's not that easy to do when you're driving. So
I had to stop. Then I started driving again. The car feels actually quite nimble in these narrow streets. It's very direct. The steering wheel is very direct, so you don't feel like you're driving a very big car. Here you will see an example of some idiotic behaviors that you see quite often in Munich. Some person just blocked the street. I had to swear there to let my frustration out. So then I headed towards the Autobahn. Got a bit confused there.
Now turn right
Now
onto
we will
Wasserburg-Germanstrasse.
march into a 70 km speed limit road. As you can see, it accelerates amazingly fast. It's pretty quick. Munich is quite green these days, as you can see. Autopilot for the first time. Bit of a panic, and then I disengaged. The car was getting too close to the car in front. Here the BMW didn't want to give me space, so I had to get behind it. So we are just going to march into A99. Here I was trying to be a bit playful, trying to slide the car, but it did not. It grips very well. Maybe if it was the rear wheel drive, then it would have slided. We are just going to march onto the Autobahn now. It's quite effortless to drive on the Autobahn, to march in. And the car feels very solid. It's great to drive on the Autobahn. It just slices through the air. I engaged autopilot again. This was a 120 kilometers per hour stretch, so I couldn't drive too fast. Autopilot disengaged because of the lane change. I engaged the autopilot again. Here the autopilot disengaged for some reason. I still haven't figured out why. I was cruising at 130 kilometers per hour, as far as I can remember. And here I just missed my exit. So I kept on driving. The windshield wipers finally started working. It was raining a bit. Here, eventually, I exit the Autobahn.
Now take exit 50 on the right.
So overall, what do I think about the car? First, the things I like. It's nimble and easy to maneuver in the city and in the narrow streets. It's stable on the highway, easy to overtake. Driving on the highway with autopilot is quite relaxing. It's a safe car. It has very good safety ratings. It's also very sporty to drive. I like the interior quality. It's minimalistic, clean and spacious. It has good storage space. Boot space is good enough, even though it's not a hatchback. And finally, it's very efficient. It's one of the most efficient cars. Now, the things that I did not like: the auto windshield wipers did not work when they should have worked. It rains a lot in Munich, so it's important that the auto windshield wipers work well, especially because you have to use the screen to turn them on manually. You can't do it from the stocks like the traditional cars. Noise insulation is also not the best, especially at higher speeds, but it's not that bad. Maybe as good as the noise insulation level of a Renault Zoe. I can live with that. Overall, I am very impressed with the Tesla Model 3. Now, would I buy it? Yes, definitely. I am seriously considering it. However, I would buy the Standard Range Plus version. The Standard Range Plus version has 490 kilometers of range. That is enough for me. I don't drive more than 200 kilometers in one go. The long range version costs 10k more than the Standard Range Plus. For me, it wouldn't make sense. Standard Range Plus also qualifies for the full 10k government incentive in Germany, which brings the car to my price range. So I might just buy it. I'm test driving some other cars, and after that I will take a decision. But so far, Standard Range Plus is the front runner.
So that's gonna be everything for today's video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you in the next video. Bye.
I just thought I will leave you with this nice view as a bonus for sticking until the end of the video.